In this video, I will guide you on everything you need to know in using Pikzels effectively and efficiently. We'll cover how to use the features like the thumbnail generator, recreate, face swap, title, and personas to create scroll-stopping content faster. Each tool is built to help you design, tweak, and personalize your thumbnails with ease. No complex editing needed. Now let's start creating high quality and high performing thumbnails with Pikzels, as you can see right here. So these are the kind of quality that you'd be able to achieve here with Pikzels. So I'm pretty sure if you've been browsing YouTube, you should have come across these kinds of thumbnails right here, and they are performing really well. So now to get started is that we would need to set up our account here in Pikzels. So I suggest that you use the link in the description so that you'd be able to get exclusive deals and bonuses, and make sure to use our code so that you'd be able to get a discount on your first month. So you'd only have to pay $1. So now what we're going to do is that we're going to click here on subscribe now on the left side. And then once you click on that, you'll now be prompted here into their pricing plans. So you have the essential, premium, and ultimate. So first of all is that these are all in annual plan. So if you go for monthly, it would now increase by this price. So it went up from 14. So there is a $6 difference right here. So you'd be able to save more if you go for annual. But if you're just a beginner, I highly suggest that you go for monthly instead, just so that you'd be able to make sure that Pikzels is the right fit for you. And we have a coupon code in the description that you could use so that you'd be able to get 50% off on your first month here in Pikzels plan. So for example, you go for Ultimate, then you'll only have to pay $40. You can check our coupon code in the description. Now, here in the Essential plan, you'd be getting 200 credits per month and then a total of 2,400 credits annually. And this works in any language, and then you'd have the thumbnail generator. So this is barely the essentials. This plan is great if you're just starting out or only need thumbnails occasionally. You get access to the core thumbnail generator and can create in any language, making it ideal for testing concepts or building your first few videos. You want to choose this if you are a beginner, experimenting with content, or just need a few high quality thumbnails each month without the extra features. Next is their premium plan. So you'd be getting 1,000 credits per month with a monthly plan, and annually is 18,000 credits. And then you'd have the same features as in essentials, like works in any language, thumbnail generator, and additionally you'll get personas, thumbnail recreation, sketch to thumbnail, thumbnail enhancer, face swap, edit thumbnail, and title generator. This plan adds advanced creative tools designed to replicate proven designs, tweak existing images, and craft more strategic titles. It's ideal for creators uploading regularly and optimizing for performance. You want to choose this premium plan if you are publishing consistently, want to model viral designs, or need tools like face swap or AI-generated titles to save time and boost CTR. And lastly, we have the Ultimate plan. So this is best for agencies, power users, or brand creators. So this is $80 per month and a total of 3,000 credits for monthly. And for the annual would be 54,000 credits. And you'd also get the features here in the premium plan, plus all generations remain private and early access to new features. This plan offers maximum flexibility and privacy. None of your generations are shared with others, and you'll be the first in line for upcoming features. Perfect for brands, agencies, or creators working on confidential projects. So you want to choose Ultimate if you work with clients, need private creative workflows, or want cutting-edge features before anyone else. So once you have decided on which plan you should get, just click here on the subscribe button below them, and then you can choose on any plan right here, and then you'll only get to pay 50% as long as you are in the monthly plan. So for example, you're going to go for Ultimate. You want to click on subscribe. And now from here, let's use our promotion code. So in here, as you can see, the total price is $80. Now we can reduce that by 50% by adding this promotion code in here. So you want to type this one. It says coupon ZA and then 50 and click here on apply. And then as you can see right here, it says 50% off for a month. So as you can see, the total is now $40 only. Now that's it. All you have to do now is provide your payment information and click here on subscribe once you're done, and then your payment will now be processed, and then you will now have the ultimate plan for half of the price. But for this tutorial, I'm just going to go for a premium one because the generations remaining private and early access to new features is currently irrelevant for creating a tutorial. So I'm just going to go for the premium monthly plan. So I'm going to click here on subscribe, and then I can just use the same code, and then from here click on add promotion code, and then again a coupon ZA50 and click on apply. And now the total will only be $20 for the first month, and all I have to do now is provide my payment information and click on subscribe. And after that, that's it. I am now in a premium plan and will now be able to proceed here into using Pikzels. As you can see, I have now a total of 1,050 credits because the premium plan was 1,000 credits per month plus 50 credits as my starting balance. And then you could always add credit if you ever ran out of credits in here in Pikzels. So these are the prices. And then next is that you have your help chat bot right here. We can click on that. And then you'd be able to get help here by using their chat. And then you also have this button in here, which is very useful. By clicking here on the top left, you'd be able to expand this menu right here or pane. So in here, you could click here on new chat, and this is also where you'd be able to see the history of your chat. So if you're using ChatGPT, then you should be familiar with this. So it's basically the same thing. And then next is that you have the account that you're using, and then you could join their Discord if you'd want to, and then their persona. So this is most useful if you're doing face swaps, or if you would like to input your face into the generations or someone's face, just make sure that you have permission. And yeah, so these are the guidelines that you would need to follow. And then you can click here on got it, and then you'd be able to upload the images of your persona and let Pikzels learn from it so that it would now be applied to your images that will be generated. So you could input the name and then 10 images and click on generate, but take note that this would consume a lot of credits in here, so be very mindful of your credits in here because Pikzels is a credit-based platform, which means you would want to spend it carefully and use the features that you only need so that you will avoid unnecessary spendings on your credits. Next is that we have the model. This is also very important. You could go for the latest one, which is PKZ3, which is their newest model. You can click on that. And then you could also go for the others or could go for auto, depending on what you'd want. And then you have your format. So you have your landscape, which is the long form, and then portrait, which is the short form, depending on what you'd want. But in my case, I'll just go for long form. And then now, here we have a thumbnail, recreate, face swap, and title. So I'm just going to give you a general idea first before we try each one of them. So first is the thumbnail. So this feature lets you create a brand new thumbnail by simply describing what you want right here. You just simply need to enter a short prompt or concept, and then the AI designs a visually appealing thumbnail from scratch. It handles the layout, visuals, and design elements automatically. You don't need to upload anything, just describe the idea and it generates a clickable image based on that input. Next, we have the recreate function. This tool allows you to copy the style or layout of an existing thumbnail, so you can get inspiration from thumbnails in Facebook, like for example from Mr. Beast, and then just simply put in the link of his video in here, and then Pikzels AI would analyze that thumbnail in that video. So you just simply need to upload an image or paste a YouTube video link, and Pikzels will rebuild a new thumbnail using that reference as a base. It doesn't duplicate the original exactly, but uses the same structure depending on the inspiration weight that you select here. You can go for high so that it will be the most identical. Next is we have face swap. So what this does is that this would let you place a different face, like your own or someone else, into any thumbnail or any picture that you'd have right here. And the tool blends the face seamlessly with the rest of the image, adjusting lighting, facial angle, and mood so it looks natural and consistent. And then we have the title in here. So the title button generates optimized catchy video titles using AI. You can feed it a topic, thumbnail, or even choose a persona to guide the tone. And then it outputs a set of titles designed to attract attention and improve click-through rates based on your content and intent. So this only 3 credits, and this is where you'd be able to see how much the features cost right here. So you need to take note of this to effectively manage your credit spending. All right, so now let's proceed into using the thumbnail. So I'm just gonna input my prompt right here. And then that's it. On the thumbnail, all you have to do is input the prompt and click here on generate. But make sure here in your prompt is that you are very specific and direct, as you can see right here, with all the details that I need in the thumbnail. So make sure that it is included here in your prompt. Describe it as direct, as accurate as possible. So mine is man shocked while looking at a phone screen. Dramatic lighting, as you can see, it has this detail, dramatic lighting, and then the color, red and yellow background, YouTube style, and so on. You could even indicate on the expression of the man and whatsoever. So make sure to include all the details and click on generate. And now it's currently generating. All we have to do now is to simply wait. And as you can see, it has now been added here into the history. And if you'd like to create a new chat, just simply click here on create new chat. And now here's the result. As you can see, it is following our prompt. It has the red and yellow background, YouTube style, dramatic lighting, as you can see, but it is not following the looking at a phone screen. It is not looking at the phone screen right here. Instead, it's looking at us. So that is what I would want to change. And you have that option in here. So you can either download this image right now if you really like it, or you can click here on redo, and it will now give you a different result right here by using the same prompt that you have provided. Or you can click here on edit if you have some edits that you would like to change in this result. So let's say that I just simply would want this person to look at the phone. So I'm just gonna say that make the subject look at the phone that he is holding while having a shocked expression. Maybe something like that. And click on generate. And now let's see the result. And now as you can see, the changes has now been applied. The subject is now looking at the phone with a shocked expression, but the background and other details have also changed. Like the lighting right here, it's not as dramatic, but it's still incorporating the red and yellow background right here, YouTube style, which is okay. But if you would like to retain as much detail as possible on your previous result, then you could do this. Like for example, I just want to change this one instead, or correct this, since I'm fine with the expression and the person. And yeah, I'm just going to click here and edit again. And from here, what would you like to change? And then I'm going to say that make the flash of the phone more dramatic. Make no changes, or better is don't make any changes to the rest of the image. Right there. So I'm gonna click here on generate. So with this one right here, I'll be able to minimize the changes that would be happening outside of what I would want to be edited on the thumbnail. All right, so now here's the result. And as you can see, it has now applied the flash of the phone to be more dramatic right here, but it has also changed the face of this subject right here, and in the hairstyle, I think so. And then the background right here. So that's the thing when you are editing your thumbnail or adding some edits, is that it could also change some variables right here on your thumbnail. So keep that in mind. That is why it is recommended that if you're gonna face swap here on your thumbnail, like for example, you're gonna insert your face in here, you would want to do it last when you are now satisfied with how the thumbnail looks. Because from here you wouldn't have to make some edits now, and then your face here will not be changed, just like this one right here. So if you'd want to face swap, just click here on the face swap button, and from here you can now upload your image. And now one last thing that I would want to add into this thumbnail is to add some text, because yes, Pixels can do that. They can give you accurate text to your images, unlike any other image generator, which gives you inaccurate text right here, like the symbols are jumbled up or maybe it's distorted and so on. Well, Pixels have this superpower wherein they would be able to give you accurate text. For example, I'm gonna edit this thumbnail and I would want to add a headline text or a title text at the top, and I'm gonna go for a quote, and then from here I'm gonna say high quality. Let's say our thumbnail is about recording in high quality. Right here, add a title text in a high quality, and then from here you can now add some specifications on how you would like your text to look like. Let's say a I want the text to be bold, big, and bold, and then with yellow font color and white outline right there. So maybe something like that. And then let's see what it got for us. Click here on generate. And now here are the results. So as you can see, there has been a major change right here, especially in the color. So I think this is over the top and I didn't really like it. So I redid it once more and now this is the result. So yeah, the point here being is that Pixels is able to give you an accurate text right here. No misspellings or any distortions in the text. So yeah, that's it. So you can just include this in the prompt when you are generating your thumbnail. So yeah, that's it for the thumbnail feature in here. Now let's do recreate next. So let's just go for a new chat so that we'll be starting off with a blank slate. And now from here, click on recreate. Now from here, you can upload a link or a YouTube video or a thumbnail. And then you could also go for upload from your device storage if you'd want to. But in my case, I'll just go for a link, and then I'm just gonna go into YouTube and take inspiration or from Mr. Beast, for example, and I am gonna use this one right here, for example, which is his latest video. So I'm gonna click here and click on share and copy the link right there. Now go back into Pixels and paste it here. And from here, we can now choose the inspiration weight. So if you go for low, it would take some inspiration from the thumbnail of this video, or medium, or high if you would want to be identical as possible to the thumbnail here. And then you have your persona. So if you have a persona, you can click or select that right here, or you can create so that that face or that person will now be automatically be applied into your thumbnail right here that you'll be recreating. And then you have some changes in here. So if there are any changes that you would like to change or maybe add to the thumbnail that you are taking inspiration from, so that you'd be able to add your personal touch or whatever. So yeah, you could just indicate it right here. So now, in my case, I don't want any changes. So now I'm going to click here on generate. And now here's the result in here. As you can see, it's not exactly identical, but it follows the same concept, which is underwater and a person being tied to a rock, which is basically the same concept as Mr. Beast right here. And then from here, you can make some changes. Like for example, this thumbnail of Mr. Beast has some, as you can see, some bubbles, as you can see in there. So that would be a nice detail. And then from here, I could just go and make some changes right here by clicking here on edit again. And then from here, I would want to add bubbles in around the subject, like it is having a hard time breathing, maybe something like that, and click on generate, and let's see. All right, so now here's the result for the recreation of that. So the edit has now been added into this result. As you can see, there are now more bubbles, and the subject has also changed slightly. And yeah, that's it for the recreate. So basically that's how it does it. So it takes inspiration to the link or thumbnail that you have uploaded into Pixels and then applies the same concept. Now let's do face swap. So let's go here into face swap by clicking here on new chat. And from here, click on face swap. Now, from here, we can upload any thumbnail that we could take inspiration from. And then you want to upload a face that you would want to put on the thumbnail. So now I'm going to upload a thumbnail in here from, again, a reference from Mr. Beast. And then I'm just going to go and select Mr. Beast thumbnail. And there it is. It is now uploading. And now for the face, I'm going to use this one right here. So now let's wait for it to be uploaded. And then a pro tip is that you want to use the same gender for the subject here in your reference thumbnail. And same goes for the face right here so that it would be more seamless when it blends. Because if you go for a male, then a female here in the face, then it would have some trouble analyzing and then blending it into the references face. So make sure that you keep that in mind and click on generate. Alright, so now here is the result, and I think Pikzels really did a good job on this image right here. And as you can see, this is the reference from Mr. Beast, and then this is the photo of the subject in here, and it has been applied to the face of Mr. Beast right here. So yeah, I think this is a really great job from Pikzels. Now here you can now click here on download on this face swapped image, and then you can now use this on however you'd like. And then you could download that, and then you can click here on recreate again. But yeah, again, the face might change, so take note of that if you don't want to add some changes. So I suggest before you go here into face swap, make sure that your reference image is now optimized for your style. You don't need to make any changes anymore except the face. And now let's do the title features next. So I just made a new chat, and then from here all you have to do now is to provide some details about the video that you are making, and then Pikzels will now suggest some titles. So you want to answer a description. So write a short description of your video's topic or the idea behind it. This can be as simple as, for example, beginner's guide to selling digital products in 2025. Maybe something like that. So as you can see, this is a very simple description. So I'm just gonna make the spelling right there. And then after that is that you could also go for optional keywords. So if there are certain keywords that you would want to rank for or highlight, like YouTube Shorts or AI tools, include those in the prompt. Like for example, I am selling digital products on Etsy. So I'm just going to go for beginner's guide to selling digital products in Etsy 2025, maybe something like that, and click on generate once you have inputted all the necessary details about your video. And then after that, Pikzels will now start generating some titles for you. So you would have the first title option, second title option, and then the third title option. So just wait for it to be generated. And now here are the results. So from here, you can just select the one that you think would be the best. So let's say I'm just going to go for the first one right here because I think it's concise and direct. So I really like it. And then from here, but if you're still not satisfied fully with this, then what you could do is that you could go for brainstorm button right here. So this button helps you come up with new title ideas based on what your video is about. Instead of just rewriting your title, which is this one, it gives you different ways to say it, like question style titles, list style titles, or more exciting versions. It's great when you're not sure what title to use or want to see which ones might get more clicks. You can think of this like a tool that gives you fresh options to choose from. So click here on brainstorm, and now you'd have these options. So would you like it to be snappy or optimized for SEO, curiosity, educational, or wait, what style and whatsoever? So in my case, I'll just go for wait, what right here, because I think this would spark some curiosity on my viewers. So let's try it. And now it will now be generating my title. And now here it is. So digital products made millionaires on Etsy 2025 beginners or for beginners. So you can just edit this slightly if you want to. And then you also have this more option right here wherein you could reword, reverb, shorten, lengthen, or emphasize. So in this case, I just would want it to be reword. So click here on reword, and as you can see, it would now create a new variation of that title in here. And now here is the reworded title. So this is it. And basically, this edit is free. As you can see, my credits here didn't decrease one bit when I added or reworded the title. So now once you're satisfied with this, you can now click here on copy, or you can also make some changes if you would want to. So now last one that we'll be discussing would be the persona feature in here, because I think this would be really useful if you have a specific model that you would want to use in your thumbnail. Like for example, yourself or any other characters or persona that you'd want. So now let's click here on persona and we'll create one. So for this example, I'll just be using Elon Musk because it is already being used here as an example here in the persona guidelines. So I'm just going to also use it. So click here on got it. And now from here, we can enter our persona name. So I'm going to go for Elon persona right there. And then you will now add or upload 10 images of your persona. So I have some images here of Elon. So I'm just going to go and add it right here. Just like that. I think this is enough. So this is a total of 10. I'm going to open that and click here on generate. And take note, this would consume 200 credits. So take note of that because this is a lot. So now I'm going to click here on generate. As you can see, it is currently queuing here on the bottom left of our screen. So we just need to wait for it to finish. All right, it has now finished loading right here. So now let's use it right here by clicking here on new chat. And then we will now be able to see it applied when we create a thumbnail. So let's just go for a simple thumbnail right here. Let's say a person holding a watermelon inside a gold cell. Maybe something like this, or maybe prison cell to be more specific. So it's very simple. Click here on generate and let's see what it got for us. All right, so now the persona is now loaded up, as you can see right here. Now let's use it in recreating, wherein we can choose our persona, which is right here, and we'll be choosing our persona, which is Elon. And now let's go and put our reference thumbnail, which is this one, for example. I'm going to copy the link for this one again and go back and then paste it here. And now the inspiration weight, I want it to be maximum. So next is the changes. So I don't need to change this as long as the persona is applied. So click on generate and let's see what it got for us. And here it is. As you can see, it has now used our Elon persona as we have recreated this thumbnail from Mr. Beast. So yeah, this is it on everything you need to know to start using Pikzels effectively and efficiently. So make sure to use the link in our description and our code to get exclusive deals and bonuses when you purchase a plan here in Pikzels. So that's it for this video. So if this video was helpful, can you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more tutorials. Thank you for watching.